So I'm here with my main man Gerald on the scene for a ribbon cutting for a good friend of mine who's opening a gas station. But this video today is about Gerald. He's standing in front of his truck here, 99.1 FM. Gerald, let's get into it. I was with you about 2-3 years ago, and I remember you talking about this radio station.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about it. How did this start? How did you go about this?
Basically, it was a dream in the making. I was working at a car factory building cars, actually, and I saved all my money. Like, the only time I didn't know how I was going to go by getting a radio station. Well, the thing what I was doing was I was saving all my money at the same time working at a car dealership.
Yeah.
Well, the factory making the cars, and I was saving my money doing it, and at the same time I was looking into inquiring on how to buy radio stations. Well, a couple of years passed, and I ended up being a program director for a station down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I left them alone. Then I ended up buying taxis for a radio station here in the Jackson area, and didn't know how I was going to go about doing it, but I was like, well, that's a start. Well, I was headed to LA one day, and I was waiting on my plane out there in Houston. I had a layover or whatever out in Houston, and I got a call from my program director, and he said that he knew a guy that wanted to sell some stations. Well, not knowing that previously in June, I not necessarily bumped into a guy, but I was at the bank where the proposal was for where they were going to sell the radio station. Yeah. That was in June. Well, I got that phone call in October, and I met the guy when I got back from LA, and then I asked him, I said, are you the same guy that had the proposal to sell the radio stations at the bank? And he was like, yeah. And I said, well, it came all the way back around to me, so I knew it was meant for me to get. And I tried and I tried and I tried. And keep in mind, I said I saved my own money. The whole time I was working at the car manufacturer, I saved all that money, but I went to banks because I didn't want to spend all my own money. But the guy told me that if I came up with a certain amount of money, he'd own the finance stations for me. And we did the paperwork. We looked over it with my lawyers, all my attorneys. We looked over the paperwork, and March 2012, I bought the stations. April 21st, 2012, I launched the stations. And the format is a classic hip-hop station format. Classic hip-hop. If you look at the van, you got Slick Rick, you got Run DMC, you got Salt and Pepper, and you got my man Biz Marquis right there on the van or whatever. So we got a classic hip-hop format. We're the first in the state of Mississippi for the classic hip-hop format. And the reason I came up with that format is because hip-hop has a 30-year history or more now, and people in my age bracket now, we all listen to hip-hop because that's what we grew up on. And so hip-hop is a big part of my life. As a matter of fact, it's a big part of everybody's life. But the classic hip-hop the classic hip-hop people are the pioneers of what our generation started. And if we didn't have those people, then these young rappers, they wouldn't have an outlet to come out with the things that they're coming out with. So big ups to all my classic hip-hop rappers. I see you, Dougie Fresh, Biz Marquis, all of y'all. Let's do it. Kumo D, you my boy too.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
As you're talking, I'm noticing your body language, and I see, would you say this is probably your passion?
Absolutely. My passion, I started doing radio at the age of 18, and I went to Jackson State University, and I was going to study political science, and my work study ended up being radio. I had to work at the radio station, but as soon as I got into it, I fell in love with it. I was skipping class to go to the radio station. I'd be in the radio station for 12 hours back in the day, just to figure it out and learn it and everything. So it was a passion of mine, and I was using it at one time to get women. I tell women I'm working in the radio, and they be like, yeah. So I get the women, use this. What's the word I'm looking for? I'd use my gosh, I'm a loss of words. But I use my position just to holler at ladies or whatever. But I realized that maybe I could take it a little further, and then I started getting a little serious about it. Okay. And so that's why I came to this point. So now, instead of being at a radio station 12 hours a day. I'm there like almost 17, maybe 20 hours a day, and I get right back up and do the same thing. But if you would call it a headache, I love the headache, but because it's what I do and it's what I do best.
And it's what you're passionate about. When there was a guy who was retiring from Temple as a basketball coach.
Right.
And one thing he said was, "I'd like to thank you guys for 30 years of me not working."
Right.
Because he was working in his passion.
Right. Absolutely.
So a lot of people in the world today they can't say that they love what they're doing.
I love what I do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. However, to piggyback on what he said, if you don't have ambition, you don't have no vision. If it ain't no ambition, it ain't no vision. So whatever you got going on, whatever you want to do, stick with it and make it make sense. And then if it's something you love, make it happen. People always say, what's the cure to unemployment? Well, the cure to unemployment is simple. It's self-employment.
Oh,
so if you chose a career and it's passionate, if it's your passion, then make it your own career. Make it what you want to do, wake up to do every morning. Sometimes I have to stay up 24 hours a day. I was just up 2 days ago, but I'm right back at it. Back at it because I'm so serious about it and I won't stop. I'm not going to stop until I get at least 10 more stations.
So Gerald, if somebody want to get in contact with you, man, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Oh, you can always hit me on my hip. My phone number hasn't changed since 2001. It's 601-454-7133. Ask for Gerald Girbaud. It'll be on my hip.
And the name of the station again?
It's 970 AM and Beat 99.1, Mississippi's premier classic hip-hop stations.
All right. Thanks a lot, Gerald, for talking to us, man.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you.
All right, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.